Jingle bells, jingle bell rock. Da-na-na-na.
You don't know what's next in the song. Me neither.
Welcome to another Tech Tuesday.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Tech Tuesday.
It's a party with the lights.
It's a light party.
What are we talking about today, Charles?
Well, it's Christmas time, and so I thought it would be fun to talk about Christmas lights.
Well, I think the biggest thing that comes to my mind when you say Christmas lights is bokeh, out of focus, depth of field, and flickering.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest thing you look for when filming and shooting with
Christmas lights. So we do a lot of camera tests with Christmas lights. And part of the reason why is because with these new LED lights, not these, but with LED lights, normal Christmas LED lights, they'll flicker because the way that an LED works is to control the brightness is it does what's called pulse width modulation, or PWM. And what that means is that it pulses the lights to dim it. And this is like kind of a standard thing for all LED lights.
Yep.
They pulse really fast, and then as you dim it down or make it more bright, then they dim faster or dim slower.
So if you're like, what the heck does that mean? If
That didn't make any sense.
If you ever
They
grab your
dim
camera,
slower or they dim faster.
it made sense to me. I don't know.
They
if it makes
flicker
sense,
faster or they flicker slower.
But if you're like, what does that mean? It's when you grab your camera, you're looking through the viewfinder, and you're trying to film or take a photo, and things are flickering and it doesn't look right, and you're like, what the heck is happening? Why are these lights doing that? That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
Um,
And that's just the science behind it. All
it
LEDs
makes sense,
do
though,
that.
when you say the pulse of the electricity, it makes sense then if you're shooting at like a low shutter and you see the flickering, that's the pulse of the electricity going through the light.
Right. And so a lot of you probably be like, well, if all LED lights, like this studio is lit with LED lights right now. If all LED lights, the way that you dim it is by pulsing the light, then how come you don't see it in film lights? Well, there's a range and a frequency. So anything above 10,000 hertz, as far as the pulsing of the LED goes, then the cameras don't pick it up at any frame rate. And so a lot of the LED, unless you're doing like phantom stuff at like, 10,000 frames per second or something like that.
Then you'll pick it
But
up.
then you need HMIs anyways because the amount of light you need is ridiculous and it doesn't matter. So, but normal film lights, you're above 10,000 hertz and you're good.
So when we film like with Christmas movies, they're throwing these lights everywhere.
And they're cheap, the cheap ones. Like we're talking, our department goes out to Home Depot, Walmart, you name it, and they're just buying Christmas lights.
Buying like the whole rack. But we're testing them because 50% of those cheap lights will flicker.
Yeah.
And is that because is that just the quality and it's like a lower quality light so the range isn't there, so they're not flickering? Why would some lights work and some lights not?
Yeah, that's a good question. So manufacturers of LED lights, what they're doing is to lower the temperature because they give off heat, right? Anything that's generating light gives off heat.
Even these get a little warm.
Yeah, and so what manufacturers are doing is that they're putting a chip inside of each LED light that makes it pulse, and it dims it down. So that way it doesn't generate a lot of heat.
Okay.
Therefore extending the life of the LED light. And that's kind of like a manufacturer's way of getting around the fact that there's no heat sink on the back of that LED right there.
So there's no magic trick to looking at a box at the store and saying this won't flicker?
No, you just you have to buy the box. You got to plug it in, turn your camera on to the settings that you're going to film at, and then
And I kind of
see
knew
if
the
it
answer to
works.
that question because on every Christmas movie we do, at prep, we normally have art department come in, they'll bring in each light, we'll even just hold them in front of the camera like this, and we'll see if they flicker. And we'll sometimes literally make a chart, write each light down, and which work and which don't, and then art department will get rid of the other ones and go buy. And so maybe art department kind of has a little secret in their back pocket of like, these have worked over the years, these haven't.
100%.
Like, they probably have a bucket of like working lights and non-working.
Yeah, like I've been in warehouses before where they literally have like bins full of Christmas lights that they know that
Don't
they've used
flicker.
before
Yeah, that makes
in
sense.
the past. Now, again, like with these lights here that we have at the table, These are not LED lights. These are just plain old regular incandescent Christmas lights. So if you pull this bulb out, the whole strand will go dead type of deal. And you don't have any issues with these. And you can actually throw these on a dimmer and increase the intensity or decrease them. As opposed to an LED, they kind of are the brightness that they are.
Which we did that on purpose, knowing we were shooting and using these for a commercial. We purchased some, and so take that into consideration. If you're lighting for something, you know what you'll need.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the dimmers. What's your biggest advantage? Why do they use these?
So Christmas lights are fun because you can use them in so many different ways. And the biggest way that we use them is to create depth in the scene. Because oftentimes we get outside and you're lighting and everything, but then the background just like falls off into nothing. Like let's say you don't have enough money to put up 4 condors and 4 18Ks to light a city block. And so you kind of have to like use your imagination and try to figure out different ways that you can create depth. And instead of just having black nothingness, the abyss out there, what we do is we take Christmas lights and we'll put them on a tree, throw them over a bush, do whatever you can to like create some scent, so you can see something deep into the background.
Everybody come on quick, look at the lights!
Yeah, and if you're a photographer or something like that, you can use them with models and string some lights around your models. If you're doing product shots, they kind of create a atmosphere around whatever you're shooting your subject.
Yeah, and there's like super cheap, and they're cheap too, that's the thing. And you can even go cheaper with like twinkle lights off of Amazon. These type of things that are just battery powered.
Yep.
So you don't have to have like a generator and stingers or house power to run like a huge long strand of Christmas lights. There's battery powered options out there that you can do as well.
I've done a whole photo shoot downtown. We used these lights, found some LEDs behind the model, wrapped these around her, and then you have light on your subject. So if you need light around her face, we kind of wrapped them around her neck, and it gave enough. Yeah, model me up, Charlie.
Oh, and there you go. Sexy Christmas photo shoot.
Yes, sir.
So the other thing that we do, or that's nice, is that you have these lights in the background and then they create some nice bokeh. Bokeh is the out of focus balls of the orbs that you get with lights in the background. And when you have the depth with the Christmas lights in the background and then you're focused close on your subject, you get those beautiful bokeh balls in the background. So it's kind of fun.
Really adds a lot to the scene.
It does. It's a cheap, easy way to add some more lights and some depth into your scene and get some cool bokeh balls.
Yeah.
And have some fun playing.
You know Charles like bokeh.
Who doesn't like bokeh? It's even fun to say.
It's my
bokeh.
favorite thing. You see Charles and Scooter on set like bokeh. Alright, boy.
All right, guys. Thanks for staying tuned. Hopefully this video is informative and you guys can apply it to your next film shoot. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Woo! Peace.